Hi guys, welcome to Ouro Preto. In this video I'm going to show you all the important things about this historical city. So stay tuned and watch the video till the end. Ouro Preto is located in the Brazilian state of Minas Gerais and only 2 hours away from Belo Horizonte, the capital of Minas Gerais. A region also known for its beautiful landscapes. Ouro Preto means black gold and got its name during the colonial period because of its rich gold deposits, and was the former capital of the state of Minas Gerais. Nowadays, many tourists travel to Ouro Preto to see the best preserved colonial city in South America. And in this video I will show you the top 7 things to see if you ever come to Ouro Preto. Number 1. Igreja de São Francisco de Paula. This is the first church you will likely encounter because it's just a short walk from the bus station. This church was built between 1804 and 1898 and was the last church that was built in the colonial era. The beauty of this church is that it stands out from afar between the beautiful mountains. And that's why this beautiful church has to be on your list. Our next attraction is located in the heart of Ouro Preto. Number 2. Igreja de São Francisco de Assis. The St. Francis Church is an architecture work of art. Above the front door hangs a huge relief of Francis receiving the stigmata. And directly below is a relief of the Virgin Mary. The Church of St. Francis is listed as one of the UNESCO World Heritage for its architecture and history, and is one of the 7 wonders of the world of the Portuguese origin. And definitely a must-see if you ever come to Ouro Preto. Let's jump to our number 3, Basílica Nossa Senhora do Pilar. This church is considered to be one of the richest churches in Brazil. The interior of this church is almost completely covered with gold leaves. The details with which this church was built is a masterpiece of architecture. The Basílica Nossa Senhora do Pilar is one of the most famous churches in Brazil and was declared a basilica in 2012. And that's why this beautiful basilica is definitely on our list. Number 4. Igreja Santa Ifigênia. The Igreja Santa Ifigênia Church is located on a hill, and just the view alone makes it worth to visit this beautiful place. But what makes this church so special is that the church was built from Chico Rei, an African king who worked as a slave in Ouro Preto. He was able to buy his and his son's freedom, and then little by little the freedom of all of his people. Chico Rei built this church in honor of Iphigenia of Ethiopia, or also known as Iphigenia of Abyssinia. Iphigenia was a Christian saint and responsible for the spread of Christianity in Ethiopia and Eritrea. Both countries are one of the oldest Christian nations on earth. Just the history behind this place makes this beautiful church to a must-see. Let's move on to number 5. Paróquia e Santuário de Nossa Senhora da Conceição. This church has a wonderful front courtyard and offers a beautiful view of the city, and is one of the oldest and most important churches in Ouro Preto. Originally built as a chapel from Antonio Dias, a lot of work and expansion has been done to this church over the years. The famous architect Antonio Francisco Lisboa, or also known as Aleija Genio, did a significant work in this church. He dedicated almost his entire life to rebuilding the church and was even buried in the church after his death. Antonio Francisco Lisboa was one of the most important architects in the Brazilian history, and that's why this historical church is a must-see. Number 6. Igreja de Nossa Senhora das Mercês Perdões. This church was built in 1742 as a chapel and was called Bom Jesus dos Perdões. There is a very sad story behind this church. There are reports that a famous judge from São Paulo killed his own daughter because she was engaged at the time and allegedly cheated on her husband. Her father was arrested and her mother, Dona Branca, ordered the construction of the chapel. And she also gave the church its name, Bom Jesus dos Perdões, what translated means Good Jesus of Forgiveness. This incredible story of a sad mother who loses her daughter and her husband and asks Jesus for forgiveness by building this chapel makes this church to a must-see. Last but not least, number 7, Minas do Palácio Velho. You can't leave Ouro Preto without visiting a real gold mine. This is what Minas Gerais is known for, and especially Ouro Preto. It is claimed that the Portuguese shipped over 800 tons of gold to Portugal during the colonial period. And while you are in the mine, you get a feeling of what it must have been like for a miner back then. I think you should visit a mine if you are in Minas Gerais, and that's why this attraction is definitely a must-see. I hope you liked the video, guys, and tell me what is your favorite attraction in Ouro Preto.